Welcome back. This morning we are continuing our ongoing conversation about social media and its impact on young kids.
Yeah, joining us this morning is our parenting expert, Dr. Cheryl Ziegler. Dr. Ziegler, good morning.
Good morning.
So social media has been around for a while. This is not new to us. Why now is all of this happening?
Yeah, so on Monday, we were talking about how the American Psychological Association came in and basically put this health advisory out and said, hey, social media may be hurtful for kids, and here are some guidelines. And then over the last couple of days, the Surgeon General, Dr. Murthy, came out and said, let me make this really clear. Social media is very likely profoundly negatively impacting kids. We need more research behind this. We need to take this really seriously.
We've talked about how social media can be good in some ways, but yeah, it can really negatively affect kids with their mental health. How is it impacting the young kids and teens?
So what we're seeing is that if you are in a group where you might be having depression, it will exacerbate your depression. If you have anxiety, a lot of body image issues because a lot of comparison. And we also know that it disproportionately seems to negatively affect girls.
I think that is so fascinating. You and I have talked about this before. Why is that the case?
Because girls have much more of that social judgment. They're involved in toxic beauty culture. They're involved at young ages like 10 and 11 at, looking at makeup and doing their hair a certain way and certain clothes. Boys don't use social media in the same way. And in fact, a lot of times they also use social media just as a means of getting maybe their gaming group together. And then they'll kind of go to social video gaming. So boys just use it differently than girls, but also we need more research.
Yeah.
We really don't know. We meaning in the field, see the detrimental effects, but one of the things that we're saying is we need a lot more money being put into the research around this so that we can really understand the details of why it's impacting all youth, but particularly girls this way.
I feel this as a mom. Okay, so I feel like as a mom, there's so much pressure that society puts on you. Well, these moms are doing this, so I should be doing that. And it's just so much pressure. So you can see how the younger kids, especially girls, are so impressionable by social media at such a young age.
Yes, and when you say young, let me clarify. So a lot of studies, when they say adolescents, are talking about like 12 to 18. But one of the things that came out of this health advisory is even though social media platforms say you need to be 13 to be on here, 8 to 12-year-olds, about 30% of them are using social media. So we're talking really young. So when we're talking about, let's create education plans and get kids, educated before they're on social media, we're now talking 7 and 8 years old that we need to be educating them to prepare them for this world.
Which is why we have to go back to that conversation we had Monday where parents, it's really kind of, up to all of us as adults to make sure that our kids are ready to be on social media in the first place. By the way, that conversation up still on 9news.com if you want to go back and check that out. Dr. Ziegler, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.